Welcome to Nerd on Nerd with me, Jack Kempster.
And me, Liam Underwood. In this episode, we're going to be discussing Overwatch, which is a game available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. We're also going to be just talking. So that leaves
sort of
us
standard episode then.
That leads us into my favourite section, catching up with Jack and Liam. So what's new with you, Jack?
Nothing, mate. I'm the same old, same old.
Yeah, nothing been going on in your life.
No, nothing.
Nothing at all.
No.
No work.
I'm just kidding, Liam. Yeah, no, I've been working a lot the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
What have you been working on?
EU referendum graphics.
Ooh, that sounds political.
Yep.
Cool. So
what have you been up to?
Just living my life, to be honest. You know, like a free spirit who sort of 9 to 5 is shackled, but all the other time just floating in the wind.
So also a lot of work on your end then.
Yeah, not to do with the EU referendum, but to do with like a global sales conference that we've got coming up, and a load of work needs to get done before it.
Well, it sounds very exciting.
Oh, honestly, I could feel like a post-it note with all my excitement.
Oh, that's pretty great.
It's quite a lot, really, for me and my voice. Yeah. Still doing D&D, you'd be pleased to know.
Oh yeah, how's that going? Is this your D&D group now have sort of split apart, haven't they? People have gone to places.
Yeah. So we're supposed to have 2 people Skype in, but one of them had technical issues.
Okay.
So we had one person Skype in. It was different. There's a bit less of an atmosphere, I'd say.
Yeah.
But in good news, I got to level 3, and that leaves me with a very difficult decision to make.
What is the decision?
So, I don't know if you know this, but when you're a warlock in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, once you hit level 3, you can choose like a specialty, if you will. So I can either get this new spell that lets me kind of conjure up a tome, and I can put other spells inside of it.
Just real quick, I don't want to detract from your point, but could you repeat that?
Why?
What does the spell let you do, Liam?
It lets you conjure up a tome.
Sorry, what does it let you do?
Am I saying the words wrong?
Say it again.
How am I meant to say it?
Say it.
Conjure up a tome. Conjure. Conjure up a tome.
Conjure.
Sorry for trying to get a bit of class and elegance in the show.
Not class.
Jeez.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Go on. What does the other bit let you do? What's the other choice?
So the other 2, I can do that. I can something like if I find a weapon, I can kind of consume it, and then it can never be taken away from me, and I can always use it. Mm-hmm. And then the third and final option is I can have like a little pet, like a little imp or a pseudo dragon or something that I can magic into existence, and it'll obey me.
See, for me, that's not a difficult choice.
Well, I'm leaning towards the pet.
Yeah.
But then it leads on to the question of, well, what do I have as a pet?
Like an imp, a badass imp.
Why an imp though? Like, I like the sound of a pseudo dragon.
Pseudo dragons are lame. They're just like tiny dragons.
What's lame about that?
They're like tiny.
Imp? What's good about an imp?
They're hilarious.
In what way?
Have you not seen the famous cartoon Hunchback of Notre Dame? I was trying to remember what Disney film they had gargoyles, and one of them was a bit impy, wasn't he?
I've never seen it.
I think I've seen that film once.
Yeah, I mean...
Weird reference for me.
There was also a TV show called Gargoyles.
Yeah, I think I might be mixing it up, and then I couldn't remember if I've actually ever seen Gargoyles.
I used to have toys, Gargoyles toys, like action figures and stuff, when I was a kid.
And didn't you used to think how cool it would be to be able to summon one of them?
No.
No.
But I think a gargoyle is very different to an imp.
They're similar.
Not really. Like, gargoyles are pretty big, and they turn to stone when their duties are done or whatever. Or, like, at night or something, or in the day. I don't know.
If you get them wet after midnight.
Yeah, or if you feed them.
Yeah.
But imps, they're just like little screechy little... I think I'd have a headache if I had an imp follow me around everywhere.
Why do you think it'd be screechy?
Because, alright, picture the voice of an imp.
Okay.
It's quite a high-pitched, shrill noise.
I mean, my one isn't.
How does your one sound?
Sort of normal.
Go on. So, it's like, hello, I'm the imp.
Why is it deeper than normal?
I don't know, I'm trying to...
It's not high-pitched, but he's not, super deep.
No, mine's this little high-pitched shrieky thing that shoots fireballs.
Okay, well, I mean, you're aware it's a fantasy world where I'm sure that you don't have to have that.
Yeah, but it's in my head now, so like I'd be lying to myself. I would be lying to myself.
Say to your DM, please describe it to me, and please make it not high pitched.
Maybe, but like a pseudo dragon. Now that just sounds chill.
Yeah.
Like a little pseudo dragon resting on my shoulder. I imagine like he can't even summon up fire. It's just little puffs of smoke.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're.
I mean, he'd be fucking useless. I don't know.
Because you don't want something that's stupid.
No, I've got to check with the DM, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's something I've been up to.
Fair enough.
Probably only interesting to really me.
Well, I'm interested.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, at least that's two of us.
Yeah. Something else I've been doing that you might be keen to know about. I've got addicted to a new TV show. Well, I say new, it's new to me.
Yep.
It's a show called Banshee.
Yes, I've seen the first series of Banshee.
Right. Here's the thing. Super like the show. I've recently started season 3. I believe they're currently airing season 4, and that's going to be the final season.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I have no idea how to even begin describing the show without spoiling it.
Okay. What can you? Is there not stuff you can say that's not a spoiler about?
I honestly don't know.
Because I can't remember how you get introduced to the main character. Like, I don't know if you know what he is.
You do. Like, you find it out very early on, but then, like, I'd say so much happens in the pilot episode, and, like, kind of revealing half of that would give away a lot of the stuff, but it is also the whole premise of the show.
Well, I guess, I mean, you could say it without saying what it's about. Like, you could say it's an action-y sort of show.
Yeah, it's...
Like, there's shooting.
Oh, there's a lot of boobs.
There's lots of boobs.
There's so... And I'll be honest, half of them ain't bad either.
Is that half as in half the women's boobs are fine, or half as in you only like left-hand boobs?
No, half the women. Some of the women.
Who's it made by? Is it made by... It's made by someone that used to make porn films, isn't it?
It's made by Cinemax.
Yeah, aren't Cinemax quite famous for being a porny channel in America?
I wouldn't know.
I'm sure I heard that before, and then that was why...
I'm sure you have a lot of first-hand experience with that.
With American porn channels that might not even be porn channels.
Yeah, I'm sure, you know, during your porn searches, you've come across them.
I don't think porn companies usually put their, like, films.
Yeah, but I'm sure on something like RedTube, people aren't that fussed about where it was sourced from.
They get taken down now.
Do they? It's not a site that I would particularly use. However, if they would like to sponsor us, I'm totally okay with that.
Seeing as the Fleshlight begging has fallen through.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, a little bit disappointed about that. So the other company that I've kind of seen about is adamandeve.com, I think it is.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, well, maybe they should sponsor us, and they could send you a box of examples of what the fuck that is.
I don't think that's how sponsorship works, Liam.
Yeah.
I don't think we go, I'm not going to find out what it is until they sponsor us.
What a good reason to sponsor us, though, right?
No, why would that be important to them?
Because we could record you opening the box and discovering the delights within.
See, but this is the thing. I assume it's a sex thing.
Well, I mean, it could be biblical.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's fucking not, though, because you found it.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know if they'd want a sponsorship deal where I open it and do like a live reaction thing, and my reaction will probably be, what the fuck are these things? Do they go in my butt? Do
they
go
might
in
want
lady's vagina? What is happening with this? I'm sure they don't.
No, we can't be presumptuous. That might be their bread and butter, is like this whole kind of educating the like youthful bachelor male into being more comfortable with these sort of things.
Right, I'm just going to assume that this is a company that sells sex toys, and I'd like to point out that I feel like sex toy companies probably make most of their money from people that are buying sex toys, not that are looking to be educated.
Well, no, but right, so
bachelor males.
No, but here's the thing: people that already want to buy sex toys, right? They know that they could go to somewhere like adamandeve.com and buy these sex toys.
Stop saying it like they're sponsoring us.
I'm just giving them a sample of if they sponsored us, what they could expect. Whereas someone like, you know, so they've got that market covered, but then someone like you could come along, and that's a whole new market for them to tap into. Like, I'm not saying you're the market. I'm saying people like you, sort of young, hip men about town, living in the big city, you know, constantly on the grind or grinder.
How did you find this site?
So, what's been up with you? Oh, and Banshee. Back to the main point. Super good. If you're not watching it, you should. Just to give you some idea, like, I've been watching it with Kat, and even she's enjoying it. So that really says a lot.
Yeah, no, it's a good show. I need to catch up on series 2 and 3.
Yeah, but first you've got Walking Dead to catch up on.
Nah, I'm going to keep putting that one off.
It's just, I don't know why.
Because it annoys you.
But it's annoying me because you're depriving yourself of something that's so good.
Yeah.
It's going to be another Breaking Bad, where you'll be like,
No,
many
because
people
I'm
have said
actually
it's good.
past series 2 of Walking Dead. I made it past the slump in Walking Dead.
Oh, that's arguable.
Really?
I'm not a fan of The Walking Dead until this season.
Yeah, so I've made it past...
season 1.
I'm up to this season, I just haven't watched this season yet.
Then watch it.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah, like, what are you currently watching? Because I know you went through like a
Game of
Flash
Thrones.
thing. Yeah, but that's 1 hour a week.
Yeah, I'm a busy man.
Yeah, well, you were like blitzing through Flash and Arrow and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
but then my laptop broke, so now I have to I can't access my laptop.
So, so you haven't actually finished those shows then?
No.
Ah.
It's really irritating.
Do you know what else
I'm
is
like-
irritating?
Yeah, go on.
Netflix.
Why?
On my TV, for some reason, just doesn't handle motion at all. And I don't know if it's the TV's fault.
I thought you discovered it was the TV.
Or is it the internet, Jack?
I haven't. It won't be the internet. The internet would be the actual quality would drop.
Then it must be the TV's fault, and that makes me livid.
Yeah. Didn't you look it up? I'm sure we both looked it up for you.
It's possible, but I forget things all the time.
That's fair enough.
So, yeah, that's Liam.
Liam's upset with Netflix.
Ah,
That does remind me, Liam. I also have been watching a new TV show.
yes, go on.
Which, well, it's not even a TV show. It's an internet show made by roosterteeth.com called Day 5, which
Yeah.
is really fucking good.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it like genuinely good,
Yeah.
or is it like good with an asterisk?
No,
and
it's like
good
it's like
for a
if
web
this
show.
was on TV, I
Yeah.
would be watching it.
So why isn't it on TV then? If it's like good,
Because they're an internet company.
but isn't like TV where the big bucks are to be had?
No, not anymore.
No,
What world do you live in? No, of course not.
I don't know
companies
anymore,
like,
Jack.
When companies like Netflix are releasing original series and like producers are going to Netflix to have their series made, no, TV's not the big deal. What used to be.
That's true. It's very.
The internet's the big place, so that's
So-
why companies are starting to do this. Like,
Why
releasing their
didn't-
own original series?
Why haven't they put it on Netflix?
Because they have their own site.
Yeah, but don't you have to pay to access it?
To get Day 5, you do, yeah.
Yeah, so that I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, but that's the same with a Netflix original series.
Yeah, but I'm already paying for that, so it's not like an extra cost to me.
I'm not trying to get you to buy it, Liam. I'm just telling you that it's a fucking good show.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'm saying if I want to watch it, it's annoying that I have to pay money to see it.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. Well, you do live in a world that is based on, economy and money.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when I'm
it's real
already...
difficult for you to. I'm sorry that I can't just talk to Rooster Teeth and get them to give it to you for fucking
Yeah,
free.
what I'm saying is, when I'm already paying for Netflix, it doesn't make sense to me why they don't put it on Netflix, and surely that would get them a larger
have to
viewer
explain
base.
economics and stuff to you, Liam. I don't want to have to do that.
But are we in agreement that if they put on Netflix, there is a larger viewer base for them to tap into?
Yeah, but they wouldn't make as much money.
Well,
They wouldn't, because they're making money off of it. They have their whole thing is a sponsorship deal where like you pay a certain amount a month and that gives you access to the sponsor shows, which there's not like a.
What's the show
crazy
about?
amount of. Day 5, Liam,
sorry, I got bored.
is about.
Yeah.
It's about this disease or something. We're not sure yet.
Okay.
That spreads across the world all at once and makes sleep lethal. So basically, immediately.
Yeah.
However, a huge percentage of the world's population just dies.
Yeah.
And then the people that have survived are like, there's a group of people in a hospital that were on the night shift. So they saw the people come in that started dying and they realised what it was, so didn't go to sleep. There's a drug addict who was on a bend.
A bend?
Yeah, where you take a lot of drugs or you drink a lot.
I thought that was a bender.
Yeah, I shortened it to bend. Can you not do that? I don't know.
I mean, maybe you can. I'm clearly not the wordsmith of this duo.
But no, but seriously, it's like a really interesting. Like the way they've done it
Yeah.
is really good, and like it would be so easy to have made your so the drug addict character is kind of the main character,
Yeah.
and it would be really easy to make him like the traditional stereotype drug addict whose life has fallen apart.
Yeah.
But instead, he's like this genuinely humorous guy who realizes that he's fucked up his life and is on drugs and like knows it's the wrong thing, but it's played like he's a real addict sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just really interesting. Like he's like his best mate in this universe of where everyone's dead is this kid that he meets, because there's so few people left. It's this like 13-year-old boy, and they both sort of look out for each other, and it's genuinely like.
But how, like, so if they sleep, they die?
Yeah, if you fall asleep, you die.
So how do you kind of not sleep then? Because don't you die if you don't sleep as well for a long enough time?
Yeah, so that's like a point in episode 1 when they meet the night shift people.
Yeah.
A doctor there says to them, because they're like, well, we're just going to carry on, doing all these drugs and smoking cigarettes and drinking energy drinks and all that stuff. And she's like, well, that would be fine, but your body's never going to adapt to this. So at the moment, you have an expiration date. There's a point where we won't be able to go on any longer and we'll all fall asleep.
It sounds a little bit like a Nightmare on Elm Street, but kind of without like the best part of that movie.
Yeah, except it's nothing like that. Literally, the only similar thing is the sleep bit.
Yeah, like if you
Nightmare
fall
on Elm
asleep,
Street
you
isn't
die.
an apocalypse film?
Not yet.
Yeah, are you still watching Nightmare on Elm Streets that come out?
I mean, don't know if they're still making them.
Did they give up after they did Freddy vs Jason?
I think they might have done. Well,
Yeah.
they tried to do a remake after that, didn't they?
Oh, that's right. I never watched that.
With the dude from Watchmen. He was the new like Freddy Krueger, and it was just just why? Why would you try and remake a classic like that?
Yeah, it's nothing like Nightmare on Elm Street apart from the lethal sleep bit. It is more like an apocalypse film.
So, like Apocalypse Now.
No, that wasn't an apocalypse film.
So what? If you had to like say right, describe it as it was. It's this
I
film.
know this is difficult for you to
meets this
understand, Liam, but
film.
not everything has to be the same as something else.
No. This is what I'm saying. So
Things
describe
can
it.
just stand on their own.
If you could mash up two films that would make this, what two films would they be?
Well, I wouldn't mash up films because it's not a fucking film.
Yeah.
So that's my first thing.
Okay.
So it'd probably be TV shows.
Okay.
And then I don't know, the fucking Walking Dead, because that's apocalyptic.
Yeah.
And some other show where sleep's the thing. So
Big Brother?
The Chronicles of Sleep.
Okay. You're not selling it to me. Like, if that was an elevator pitch...
Mate, honestly, I didn't come here expecting to sell it to you, because you are the worst person to try and convince to do anything, because you live in a tiny little bubble
Yeah.
of your own sort of hate.
And love.
Nah.
It's mostly self-love.
I feel like it's an outer skin of love, wrapping this sort of core of hatred.
No, it's just a lot of love.
Nah.
There's very little hatred, but there's an awful lot of love.
Okay. Liam!
Yes!
I also, this week, in the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
went into the cinema. So
Whoa! Back up. Someone's trying
No.
to encroach on my territory here.
I'm doing a new segment of the show
Yeah.
called Jack has gone to a cinema to see a film that was long, and he's going to give you the spoiler-free review of that film that he went and saw at the cinema in Wimbledon, and now he's going to tell you it, and he's going to try not to spoil the film.
Cool. So it's time for...
Repeat it for me.
I don't know what you just said.
I can't remember it.
Something about Jack going to a cinema and having a gay old time.
Okay. The film I went to see, Liam,
Yeah.
is a little film called Alice Through the Looking Glass, something like that.
Which I believe is a sequel to
It is. I've seen the original.
Alice in Wonderland, right?
Yeah.
Tim Burton directed it?
Yes.
Did he direct the sequel?
Yeah, I think so. I assume so.
Okay. And what's the message?
Don't bother going and seeing it.
Oh, really?
I didn't enjoy the first one.
Why would you go and see the second one then?
Because I went with a friend.
See, I also went to cinema to see the first one. Didn't enjoy it. So when this one came out, I thought I could go and see it with my little cinema card that lets me see films without having to pay extra money. But I don't want to.
Yeah, that's probably the right thing to do. I went with a friend, so I was like, I don't want that person to have to go by themselves.
Why not?
Because I don't know, because I'm a nice person.
I go to cinema by myself like nearly all the
Yeah,
time.
but you're a loser. I'm sorry, that was mean. You're not a loser.
But you're never
you like going to the cinema by yourself.
You're never like, oh, I'm going to go with Liam. Just have to go
I'm not
by
travelling to
himself.
Portsmouth to go to the cinema.
I'm worth it.
You aren't. So while I'm making it sound like this film was terrible, it wasn't like, it's not the worst film I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And considering I remember really not enjoying the first film,
Yes.
and I think I enjoyed this one slightly more than that.
Okay.
But I knew it. I went in knowing that I wouldn't enjoy it.
So why did you go?
Would you stop? Because I went for a friend.
It's just mental.
Jesus Christ, Liam.
That's just mental.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, you don't understand friendship.
No.
That's why I have to do all the friendship work in this friendship.
Yes. So what's new in this sequel that makes it different to the first?
I don't know, mate.
I know,
Not much.
Sacha Baron Cohen, is that his name?
Yeah, he plays Time.
Yeah, he wasn't in the first one.
That's true, he wasn't.
Anything else that's new? Did you see it in 3D?
No.
So 2D, IMAX?
No.
Okay.
While I went for a friend, I wasn't going to spend any more money on this than I had to.
Fair enough. Did you get popcorn?
No.
Drink?
I never get stuff from the cinema. Like, I went in with snacks and a drink, but I didn't buy them at the cinema.
Cool. And out of 5?
2.
Wow, that's not good.
It's more enjoyable if you spend the entire film knowing that, because you know how the originals are kind of meant to be like, maybe Alice is imagining it all in her head and she's actually crazy.
Yeah.
I basically spent the whole film being like, how does this prove that? And that was fun until about halfway through, where there is a scene where she wakes up in a mental hospital, and I was like, right, well, they're sort of been a bit heavy-handed with the whole she's mental.
Did you ever watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yes.
Have you seen every episode?
Yes.
They did that concept fantastically in one of the episodes.
Yeah, there's an episode where she wakes up in a mental home and no one remembers anything, and then wasn't it like the implication was that it all still could be in her head after that?
Yeah, they left it very ambiguous at the ending.
Yeah.
Which do you think this film would have maybe benefited if they'd have done that?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But I feel like it wasn't meant. It wasn't. I don't think it was made for people like our age or like us.
So who do you think it's made for?
Kids.
And if they ever did a third one, would you go and see it?
No.
Okay. Did you see anything else at the cinema?
No.
So yeah, this is kind of unprecedented because I actually haven't been to the cinema recently.
Yeah, what's happening? Just work.
There's been nothing out that I've been like, oh, I really want to see that. Like,
don't pretend like you check what films you're going to go see, because with your new stupid pass, you go and see fucking everything.
So the thing I've been most tempted to, but not really enough, was Warcraft.
I really want to see that.
The problem is, I want to see it, but it kind of came out when half term was on, and the last thing I want to do is go and see it surrounded by like 12-year-olds.
What age restriction is it?
I'm pretty sure it's 12 and above.
I've heard it's very gory.
But it's going to be like not.
I don't think a bunch
graphic.
of kids are going to go see it. No, I've heard it is. I've genuinely heard that it's like pretty graphic. People I've basically read an article about Warcraft saying that this guy was like, I don't understand. It shows how flawed America and like England as well, how our rating systems are fucked. Because if you swear, he was like, if you say fuck, what is it, once or or twice or whatever, he was like, that immediately puts it at 18 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he was like, but in this film there is a scene where a man gets run through with a sword, and you see him get run through with a sword, and like that's on screen. The film is still.
It's a 12A Warcraft.
Yeah, so that's mental.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if it's I've been saying for a long time that it's mental that you can't really show nudity or like sex, but you can show like people getting shot in the face.
Yeah, that's like a really common like thing where people say, Jeez, I'm really struggling to formulate a thought today.
It fosters this violent mentality that we're seeing spreading through society.
That's absolutely stupid. You're not one of those people that believes that. And
I'm not. I don't think that movies make killers.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that. It's more a reflection of society's view of those things.
Yeah, and I'm going to refrain from quoting Scream as well, so you're all welcome for that.
But yeah, that's my cinema experience.
Have you been reading any books lately?
Yeah, Liam. This week, I started a new series of books.
Oh, yeah?
I've been reading. Called, the actual series is called The Macht, the M-A-C-H-T. I don't know how to pronounce that. Marked, The Marked, maybe?
The Mocked.
In my head, I've been saying it Macked.
So, yeah, it's like Mach 0.5. That's a speed or something, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it's basically, sort of based on historical Greek people.
Yeah.
So spears, shields, bronze armour, that kind of thing. But it's set in a fantasy world.
Why Greek?
Why not?
Why not Roman?
Because the Romans didn't use particularly circular shields. They used square shields. They were famous for making the turtle formation, Liam.
Yeah, I know that.
Welcome to another side of me that you might not have known about, Liam, which is that I'm also obsessed with Roman and Greeks.
Okay, so what's the
Ancient
difference?
Romans. The Romans used square shields. They formed centurions.
And the Greeks did a lot of sport, right?
Jesus Christ.
Because the Olympics comes from Greece, yeah?
Yeah.
There we go then.
But
and they used to...
But no one's... When you're thinking about the military, like ancient history military stuff, you're not thinking about the Greeks being sport... They didn't like turn out on a field of battle with the Romans all facing off against them, and the Greeks just start like hurling discuses and going, I got that quite far.
I feel like...
I challenge you Romans to a 100-metre sprint.
I feel like that's where like shot putting would come in handy.
That is where that stuff comes from. It used to be a military
So it's
game.
not that silly after all. And they used to do it naked. So sit on that
as well. Why is that the fact that everyone knows about the ancient Greek?
It's because we like to imagine the little willies like just tackling
Do
around. Yeah, just like you imagine someone running, and then you imagine them doing it naked, and it just flip flopping all over the place.
It would be quite hilarious.
Yeah, it would. It would make the current Olympics a lot more interesting to watch, I think.
But yeah, so this series of books, I'm 3 in. It's really fucking good. I'm really enjoying it.
How many are there in total?
I'm not sure. There's more than 3. I think it might be a...
Sexology.
Possibly? I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm sure I think there's a 4th one, definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100%.
And what's been kind of your favourite part of it?
The fighting.
Cool. Do you find, like when I used to read books...
Yeah.
And when I used to write books as well, back in the day...
When you say write books, do you mean the weird sex plays you used to write?
Okay. Like, I find writing fighting and action very difficult, because, like, I can imagine it really well, and I can, like, picture how it would play out on a screen, but then, like, turning that into text, it's hard to make it exciting and dynamic.
Yeah.
Any advice?
Oh, are you... Advice? What? One, why are you writing fighting into your sex plays?
It's just the way things turn out sometimes.
Oh, God. I don't know. No, some books do it really well. I know what you mean, because there are books that I've read where it's, like, not described particularly great, but this one's doing a really good job of it.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do they do that makes it better?
I don't know. Here's the thing with me and reading. Right?
Okay. You do a lot of it on the toilet, don't you?
I just do it all the time.
Okay.
Anytime I'm travelling and standing still, so like in a car, on a train, on a bus.
On a bike?
I'll always be reading. No, because then you've got to pay attention to the road.
Okay.
I do sometimes walk and read if I get to a really good bit and don't want to stop.
Yeah.
I've done that. But when I don't remember the writing of this book. Like, I couldn't quote you a line of text from it.
Okay.
Because that's not how I remember it. I remember, like, what I was imagining was happening, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, like, I've never really been good at looking back at a book and being like, oh, they explained this really well. Because, like, I'm not looking at that, or I don't remember that.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Sure.
You don't sound convincing.
I know, but for the purposes of speeding up this section, I 100% understand what you mean.
So, Liam, what have you been reading?
A graphic novel.
Yeah.
Called Curb Stomp.
Oh, yeah? What's that about?
It's like... have you seen the movie The Warriors?
Is that the one with the Warriors come out and play?
Yes.
I've never seen it.
Right. The essential premise of The Warriors is it's a kind of set in a dystopian New York, and it's a gang that are being framed for killing another gang member, and they've got to get through a load of territories to get back to their home turf.
Okay.
Essentially. It's been a couple of years since I've seen it, so that might not be 100% accurate. This is like a female version of that, but it's less The Warriors and more its own thing.
Yeah.
But it's like gangs, and this story follows a female gang, and someone encroaches on their turf, and they curb stomp this kid.
Yeah.
And then it's all about the fallout of that with the other gangs.
So is it set in a future? Is it set in the future, or is it?
It's not very clear. It's more just set in like a fictionalized kind of. You've got like a city that's doing really well, and then you've got 3 boroughs that surround the city. Right, and that's where all the poverty is. And one of the boroughs is like rife with drugs. Another one has guns. And then the one where the girl gang is, they don't really have anything like that. They just are kind of there. They've been there their whole lives, so they don't know any other way of life almost. Like, they're not doing well off financially or anything, but they have that, like, what's the word? Not pride. What is it? All the Americans, they're very, like...
patriotic?
That's it. They have, like, that for their little borough.
Yeah, got you.
But yeah, I haven't finished it yet. But so far, bloody good book.
Liam!
Yeah?
There was other big stuff that happened.
What?
That we totally didn't forget about until just now.
Oh no, what was it?
E3!
Whoa, that's an electronic entertainment expo, right?
Very, very good.
Do you know what? I started saying that, not fully knowing what the end would be, and just lucked out.
That's pretty impressive then.
Thank you.
That's an electronics experience enterprising.
I mean, you know, it could have gone that way.
It could have. But yeah, there's, lots of stuff got announced. I don't want to talk about any of that stuff. The only things I want to talk about, Liam,
Yep.
a Death Stranding,
Yep.
which is Hideo Kojima's new game.
Wait, what about what I want to talk about?
Well, that's fine. You can talk about what you want to talk about. I'm talking about what I want to talk about.
Okay, cool. Good. Carry on.
Death Stranding.
Hideo Kojima's. And he's responsible for...
the PT demo and Metal Gear Solid.
Of course.
Are like his big things.
Yeah. I'm just,
Silent Hill.
like... I think what we have to bear in mind is not all of our listeners maybe...
They should!
Yeah, but, I'm here to kind of represent those ones and get them up to speed.
Got you. And then the other thing is Resident Evil 7?
Yeah.
Which had a playable demo released
Did you
as part
play
of the
that?
E3 announcement. No, I'm not going to play it. It's too scary.
Oh, okay. Because you don't like scary games, do you?
I can't play them. I like them. I like watching them,
Yeah.
but I can't play them.
Okay. So, the other big thing that's being pushed is, maybe not so much at E3, but like virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to really kind of come into its own this year with like the release of...
Morpheus?
Yeah, and other things.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any dangers attached to that?
Define dangers.
So, I was reading an article the other day about someone who was playing, I believe it was Fallout. They're doing a virtual reality version of Fallout 4.
Yep.
And they were saying they had to kill this, like, just your run-of-the-mill grunt. That they were saying they've played it on the console for hours. They've probably killed hundreds and hundreds of this sort of monster or whatever it is. I think it's like humanoid, but this thing.
Yeah.
They were saying doing it in virtual reality and actually like raising the gun and actually shooting this person in the face has really stuck with them. Like they said they find themselves still thinking about it like 2 or 3 days later.
Right.
So do you think there's going to be any sort of psychological ramifications for virtual reality?
No, I think it will get the same thing that every single new piece of media gets when it gets created, which is everyone goes way too over the top with what they think it causes.
But I'm not saying like what it could cause. I'm just saying like the fact that like this person was saying they've killed hundreds of this creature, but now actually doing it virtual reality and feeling more involved
what were they
in
writing? Was it it was an article for like a website, right?
For a game magazine.
Right. So here's what I would say.
Okay.
Is I imagine that either him or someone in his company has gone, you know what's really interesting is if people think that it's really stuck with you. Like, I can imagine that he might have, for weeks afterwards been like, oh man, that was kind of like, it felt kind of like I was there, that killing thing. But I don't imagine it's quite the same as the way it's coming across in the article, which makes it almost sound like he has PTSD, which I don't think virtual reality is going to fucking give anyone, because whilst it's convincing, I just don't think people are going to be like, I'm actually there.
Surely that was also going to depend on the age of the person playing, though.
Yeah. Hey, Liam, welcome to the world of ratings, where there are games that people under the age of 18 can't play. If they play them, that's their own fault. They shouldn't be.
Yeah, but do you think game ratings are upheld as strictly as movie ratings? Because I'm just speaking from personal experience here. I have seen countless times when, like, Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty comes out, if you go into a game on that weekend, you'll see like a string of just disinterested parents with their kids who are clutching that game. And the parents, like, aren't... I don't know why, but it seems to me like there's not enough awareness about games ratings in comparison to film ratings. Or, like, you've even got the Watershed on TV as well.
I disagree entirely.
Okay.
Because you're saying that based on the fact that there are kids that play those games because you can see them because they're in the game. I guarantee...
No, and you see them when they're buying it.
Probably most of my friends in primary school were watching 18 films.
Naughty films?
No, but 18, like, violent ones.
Okay.
But you don't realise that because you're not sitting down with a bunch of 11-year-olds going, have you guys seen the latest 18 rated film? And then we're going, yeah, of course I fucking have.
That's true.
That's the parents' fault if stuff like that happens. Like, this is what annoys me, when parents are like, GTA has made my kid violent, and I'm like, it's an 18, so your kid shouldn't be fucking playing it.
I agree.
If you're worried about your kid, don't buy him the game.
But do you think, because of the interactive nature of games, they could be more damaging than, say, a movie to a developing mind?
No, don't fucking buy into the insane media.
I'm not. I'm just asking for
opinion.
your opinion.
Propagating the opinion.
No, I'm asking for your take on it, so we
No,
could
of
actually.
course not. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, like I agree with what you're saying, but I also think that for some reason, games ratings are more ignored than like film ratings.
I don't think they are. Like I said, I think that's just exposure.
It's entirely possible. So what 18 films did you watch as a child?
I didn't. I wasn't one of those kids.
Really?
Yeah. My parents were not strict about it, but they were like, we don't think 18s are appropriate for your age, which is fine.
At what age did
When I was 12, I was allowed to watch 15s.
Okay, so at what
when
age...
I was 15, I started watching 18s.
Okay, so you was like a little bit in front.
Yeah, I was a little bit early, but like, whereas, you know, I'm talking about friends in like primary school.
Oh, yeah.
18.
And did they turn into like monsters?
No.
Like, were they quite normal?
Yes.
Interesting, that, isn't it?
It's weird, isn't it? It's almost like humans can separate reality and fantasy.
Almost. So Death Stranding.
Yeah. It's... I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Because all that's come out is a reveal trailer
With
which
Norman
is
Reedus.
made in the game engine. Yeah, with Norman Reedus.
Yes.
Who we knew was going to be in it. Because I think the moment Kojima got fired, him and Norman were...
Do you want to... So for anyone that isn't aware, do you want to give like a little bit of the history of this game? Because it's quite kind of interesting.
See, this is the thing. I don't think it's going to be tied... Like, basically, it was he made the playable test demo of the new Silent Hill game.
Which went down really well.
Everyone loved it. He then got fired from Konami.
Yeah.
So the game got scrapped. He then teamed up with Sony to make a new game, which is this Death Stranding game. The only real similarity is that Norman Reedus is still in it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like everyone's going to fixate on this PT thing, but it's not going to be PT. Like, we're not going to suddenly find ourselves in a house wandering around with a woman trying to kill us.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Well, I mean, just from the trailer. If it does get to that, it's going to be very surprising. The trailer is literally like a bunch of dead whales on a beach, a baby that turns into oil, and a bunch of men floating in the sky.
It's really weird, isn't it?
It's really good. But this is the other thing, is everyone's getting really excited about it, and it's just a video.
Yeah, I'll wait till I see some gameplay.
The game's not even like really being... It's not even being properly produced yet.
No.
There is no gameplay because the game doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once we get to that stage, then I'll start paying more attention.
Exactly. Because I'm excited, but I want people to be more... Like,
yeah. Anyone can make a trailer, really. Yeah. But making a good game, that takes a bit more skill.
Well, I think it'll be good. It's not that I don't think the game's going to be good. I'm just saying I don't... Because it's Kojima who makes good games.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I don't want people to base their opinions on a trailer that isn't based on a game that exists.
Okay. So with something like E3 as well, where it's all of the gaming stuff all together, did anything catch your attention that maybe... So let's take, for example, so you and I both have a PlayStation 4, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything there that you're like, oh man, I kind of wish I'd picked up an Xbox One?
No, not particularly.
No, I think Microsoft didn't really do a very good job, to be honest.
No, they did. They announced a lot of games. My thing is that I have a PC, so like a lot of the stuff that comes out for Xbox comes out on PC.
But I think the only thing on Xbox that I would have been like, oh, I like that, was Gears of War 4.
Yeah, I imagine that will get a PC release.
Yeah, I don't have a PC though. So...
No, I know. But that's what I'm saying. Like for me,
yeah,
a lot of the stuff I can get anyway if I really want it. It's like the big. What was that pirate one that got announced? Like Sea Pirate something. It's not called Sea Pirates because that's an insane name.
I don't know what you're on about.
There's this game coming out that's
Pirates at Sea.
No.
Pirates on the Sea.
No.
There's some pirates.
Sea of Thieves.
Ah, nothing to do with pirates then.
No, it is. You're playing as pirates.
Yeah, but like the title.
Yeah. Basically, this game Sea of Thieves is coming out, which is like you're all working together, you and your friends, or you and people online, on a ship. So people are firing cannons, people are repairing stuff. There's a pirate captain steering the ship, all that sort of stuff, right? And Dan, who has been on this show, was like, "Oh, I really want you guys to get an Xbox One so we can play it together." And I was like, "But I have a PC and it's coming out on PC."
Does he have an Xbox One then?
He's getting one.
Really?
Yeah.
For just that game or for anything else?
No, for other Xbox games.
Okay.
But I'm just like I'm not going to buy a console to get games that I can get on PC. There's nothing that's out on Xbox for me that will make me get the console.
Yeah. I just there was nothing about anything that they did that made me think I made a mistake here.
No, but then there wasn't like it's not like this huge, like the thing with E3 is it's never as exciting as it could be. Like Sony didn't exactly do incredible. I haven't come away being like, holy shit, Sony are gods.
What did they announce?
Exactly.
Well, so the big thing was a new Crash Bandicoot, which I know a lot of people have been wanting.
It's not a new Crash Bandicoot though, is it?
Sorry, it's a remaster.
Remaster.
Yeah.
Remasters. I'm not going to get excited about. I'm going to get it. I'm looking forward to it, but to me it feels lazy being like a big announcement thing and being like we're remaking one of our old games.
Well, no, I'd say it's lazy when you look at a game like The Last of Us, when all they're really doing is just sort of reskinning it a little bit to up the graphics. But a game like Crash Bandicoot, they are going to have to rebuild from the ground up. Like, I would say that's a lot less lazy.
But it's easier than making a new game.
Possibly, yeah.
No, 100%. You don't have to think about the story. They already know how they know everything about the game and how it works.
Yeah.
They have the whole story built. They know exactly what every level looks like.
But
the only thing, they're basically rebuilding it with a structure. They know what's there.
But they've got to now try and also appease to a lot of people's nostalgia.
It's a remake. It's going to be the same game.
I hope so.
It's a remake. That's what it will be.